That's what that is. Episode 28, and bear with me, I had to re-record this because for some reason I used a lousy camera's mic. That's rather disappointing. So I'm doing this all over again, and I went through a whole 40 minutes. I don't want to do surgery. I'm not gonna put on the whole. Yeah, so we're going to talk about, of course, the Democratic debate, and Roger Stone, and this nonsense with Noel of TARDIS Zone, and this intellectual property issue of John Hackcock and Barnacules Nerdgasm. And of course, we're going to start with mentioning the success of the Nintendo Switch in relation to PlayStation 5. I was skeptical of the Switch. I actually only got it because I wanted to play. I love. God damn it. Shows how long it's been. Splatfest? No. Splatoon, yeah. I love Splatoon. And I wanted to play Splatoon 2. And, yeah, and sadly the Wii U's bit went down, and I like the controller of the screen, lower screen. I kind of wish I used, at least that part was backward compatible, so I use that controller. You got big hands. I mean, what am I going to do with the... yeah, anyway. Because of the Nintendo Switch selling so well, and I was selling the PlayStation 4, and so was PlayStation 5 thing, aside from the whole issue of being censorious on Sony didn't listen to its core fans, or core, I don't like to say fans, its core customer, I guess. They wanted a Vita too. Nintendo realized this, so they decided to go halfway Wii U and halfway Vita with the idea with a little more power. And yeah, it seems like people prefer the portability than the power. And yeah, if they made a Vita too, they would have been longer ahead, especially if they did that before the Switch came out. Sony made a huge numbskull idea, and now they're trying to adapt censorship into their little platform thing, which would regularly go for Stadia, because I'm sure a lot of people said no to Stadia because Google and YouTube got censorious and shit. So, you might as well just have a Nintendo console and a PC platform like Steam. And then you have things covered. So yeah, lips are chapped. Not drinking enough. Obviously, I'm not drinking enough. Can't find my lip balm. Oh, anyway, that's that's Sony that's Sony right now. And given the debacle of that sort of situation, I'm sure they probably might be in very desperate need to keep a hold of Spider-Man. Oh, I should put the new picture on there. Anyway, Teespring.com has my shop at the Teespring, as you can see in the description. Teespring.com, the Blackchester. There are new there are new swag designs, like well, not necessarily new stuff I had at Cafe Press. I put on Teespring because it's pretty much impossible for me to manage the Cafe Press account right now. Uh, and one actually rather new design. They're all available in swag. You can check it out. If you go to Gab, you'll probably check one of my posts in Gab. You'll probably look for a bunny on a cross. That's the best way to find things. The Gab users get 10% off on it, and in the other social networks it's 5%. But there's a code for both. Anyway, yeah, back to the thing. Nintendo Switch. I mean, that's got Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I love it. I love New Leaf. I really love New Leaf. It just sold me on, and this next one looks really great. See? You can't see it's flashing too much. So yeah, that's yeah. So Sony, no new Vita. I'm surprised no one actually took the take though. That's the way it is. Yeah, and yeah. So Roger Stone's gonna get 40 months after getting offered 33 years, and now he's getting 40 months, and he's gonna get pardoned, no doubt. I think Assange will be pardoned too, by the way, because Assange may actually be an ace in the hole. That I mean, Trump's got like a day planner, and he's got a planned a specific day when he releases Assange. Just a call, but that'd be likely what will happen. Probably around the time you pardon somebody else that's not likely too pleasing to people's eyes. But that's that. I mean, it's an unquestionable power. Just be grateful if he doesn't release a pedophile or something like that. So yeah, so he's gonna get 40 days just for texting some comedian a joke. I mean, a gag thread. They've been friends since for 12 years or something. I don't know, longer than that. And he texts him a joke, and he says to the judge, he's not afraid. So somehow he's guilty of something, intimidating nobody. And Tim Pool makes a good point. I mean, if you're a lawyer, it's best good advice to give somebody that they shouldn't say anything. They'll trip you up, they'll trick you, you take the Fifth Amendment, that sort of thing. Um, yeah, so that's sort of thing. That's an intellectual property issue. Right now we have these these people, John Hancock and Barnacles of Nerdgasm, they're copyright striking people on YouTube to death for showing their image in a thumbnail. Basically, what people do is like side to reaction video, which I think is a bit of barely anyone reacts really well on. I mean, Metacore kind of does it really cleverly, but mostly it's usually just bad. But you know, they meme these guys in their thumbnails, so like that. You know, these people are kind of wannabe public figures. I mean, they really, in a way, they're kind of public figures. And they kind of expect to have full control over the image that they put in public. And there's no way in hell they have intellectual property rights over. I hate to think a fat fuck like Barnacules Nerdgasm, who I just learned about, was actually created. I don't think God will actually take a cup or claiming against claim intellectual property rights over his creation. It's like, whoops, made a mistake. Put too much blubber in that one. But in all seriousness, though, I mean, if they just they just take your picture and just post it, that's one thing. But you know, they're putting captions on it and stuff like that. It's not the same. And you kind of public figured yourself. It's perfectly fair use. You shouldn't be fucking copyright claiming these guys. These fellas. So yeah, I mean, really get a life. I put the victims of this sort of thing. I wouldn't say victim, maybe not victim, but I'll just put the two people who are big on this. Twitter accounts down. I'll let you follow whatever. It's a good idea to check out Smash JT's channel, I guess. Yeah, and well, to the center of this whole thing, the Democratic debate, right? A lot of scary shit, and you know what happened. What the Democratic debate says. If you're liberal-minded, and you don't think the government should be stealing everybody's money to deal with the energy issues and stuff like that, and you want to make a point, you don't want Trump, I recommend the Libertarian Party of your area. And try supporting Vermin Supreme. He puts a boot on his head, he tells jokes, but he's got a serious libertarian campaign. It's not all free ponies. That's just a nice joke about what the other politicians do. Free stuff, everybody! Free stuff! And that free stuff parade at the Super Delegate Choice Awards had an interesting thing where Bernie got burned badly when he decided to pick on the rich, and Bloomberg decided to riff him a bit and say, hey, look, the most famous socialist in America is a rich man. Yeah, he's got like almost $1 billion now. It's like 900 million type club now. I mean, I think if he feels so bad about being rich, I'll be glad to have it. It's weird. Why do socialists have so much money? I mean, in comparison to libertarians who are supposedly greedy and always I don't know any libertarians who are rich. I don't. I never met one. Some socialists usually lie and they say, have you ever met a poor libertarian? Yeah, I have. I'm not a I'm not a wealthy man. Kind of put a lot of barely have lives because we're putting so much effort into our fucking cause. We're not very good at sharing each other's causes on social media and stuff, or helping each other out very much. Because a lot of them are keyboard warriors. Admittedly, I'm not. I actually go run elections and stuff like that. Someone try to claim that, oh, we hate the election system, we hate the voting. Well, that's why none of them win. You don't show up, they don't have a fucking chance. You vote pragmatically, no chance. But yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, I always see certainly much richer socialists than I do. I mean, Jenny Kwan was in trouble about something, and she said she took 2 mortgages. How many people can even do that? Speaking of the NDP in BC, they actually took a note from Bloomberg and decided to put a tax on soda pop. Yeah, I mean, little behavioral control through taxation. Like, we don't have enough syntax bullshit. We need to get rid of syntaxes. We get rid of taxes on individuals. They also increase individual taxes on certain people in the on the income level, and individuals shouldn't pay tax. The corporate uh, tax on their sales of goods, services, and investment products like stocks and bonds and stuff like that. That's reasonable at a point, as long as single digit and stuff like that. It'll probably be more lucrative. Their customers will have more money, their potential customers. And the individual doesn't suffer, only the non-solo owned businesses, the corporate and incorporated factors, the collective. Now, the John White of Not My Doctor Who, I got on that petition because I wanted to say my own piece, so there wasn't this idea that we all thought exactly alike. And basically, this guy's been having problems with Noel of the TARDIS zone, who has his head up his ass, and it's fair. I don't know. He's critical of anonymous people and stuff like that, and I think it's somewhat fair to, question at least the validity of the opinions of someone who is anonymous. I mean, I put my name everywhere and stuff like that. I think it's a matter of bravery, maybe, but I think it's just kind of common courtesy. I mean, it's bad enough we're not sitting and talking face to face usually. I mean, what's a man afraid of? Someone said doxing, but doxing is nothing to do with your name being out there, being listed. A lot of people have less common names than I do. No, more common names than I do. Everyone has got a more common name than I do. I'm the only person with this name. That's a Golok Buddha and not the Black... Well, I guess the Black Jester in comedic standpoint. The rest are multiplicity, I think. So, the... So the Democratic... Oh, right, I'm still on this thing. Yeah, you got Noel. There's Noel Zone on Twitter. Wouldn't try. bothering him. I mean, he's gone on hiding because he can't take a little criticism. He does want to help out John the White and stuff like that. Some real jealousy here. I guess he probably doesn't want Doctor Who to improve or go away because he likes to complain about it. If he has nothing left, right? Because John does other stuff on his channel, so he doesn't care. If he doesn't need it as an issue, which makes it rather good of him. Null Zone, this is really his thing. This is all he has is to complain and bitch and whine about this stuff. He really is that type of archetype. So, he's in hiding, he's blocking people, all that crap. And it's not like he's got the sort of ability to send dog piles, so, I mean, really, what are you hiding from? Anyway, I'll go back to the debate. So yeah, I'm guessing a Bloomberg Harris ticket because they kind of see eye to eye on fascism and stuff like that. You know, like things like stop, frisk, and search. It's a nice policy. You know, if we don't go into minority neighborhoods, how are we going to stop, frisk them, and then plant stuff on them? We're talking, look, it could be anything, but, I mean, we need to do this. We gotta get them off the street. Ah. Ah. So, yeah, that's basically how it sounds when you said it. Yeah, who knows what they're planting on them, too? I mean, some of them could be in secret courts because they planted plastic explosive on them. Or residue, even. Or claim they had residue on them. Or... Anyway, he really survived Bernie by pointing out his 3 houses, and that was a good one. And he's kind of proud of how wealthy he is, so who cares, right? But Bernie still decided to pick on him on that, and he says, "Whoa!" He was really surprised too. He didn't expect anybody. It's like some people were. It's like they were told beforehand not to address the issue, and Bernie was like, like a, it's like a spitting image puppet. You're a billionaire. You're a billionaire. Evil. Yeah. He went crazy. So, yeah. But with all those wackiness in the Democrat Party, and all these socialist and leftist parties, blackface candidates and prime ministers and governors and all that other stuff, think of your local Libertarian Party and your federal Libertarian Party or committee, because that way I mean, it's good to at least lose with the good guys, and that way you don't have to be with Trump, you don't have to be with Andrew Scheer or whatever, wherever you are in the world. Even Britain has a Libertarian Party, by the way. I think it's Libertarian.co.uk or something. You can find it somewhere. But I'm sure they're looking for people to join, become candidates, and stuff like that. Libertarians need something more than keyboard warriors hanging around. They need people who will run for stuff and do stuff, help candidates out, and stuff like that. And all that jazz. whatever time you're at, and try and enjoy your day. I'll leave some links in the description area, of course, and check out my swag. You can donate if you want. You might wonder why I don't push for donations, because I think people who do push for it hard are probably people who already have lots of money, and they must kind of assume everybody else does. I don't know, maybe not. I mean, I will say though that I'm not the reason. I'm just saying whatever the fuck I want. I can. I don't have to worry about. I don't have to worry. I don't care about. I mean, I'm on several platforms, so you can check all those platforms. I recommend joining those platforms and following me on those platforms and stuff like that, and then and even you can even on YouTube. You don't even have to follow. Don't have to subscribe. It's good to do that too, I guess. You can also save the Blackchester Matters. There'll be a save button on playlists. You can save the playlist because it's a multi-channel. I mean, you probably see Mario Kart races and stuff like that, and Street Fighter recordings I've done. But the thing that really matters, you can just save to your account the playlist, and it'll update every so often too. It's probably better than even the subscription buttons, the notification bell or whatever. I don't care, but I recommend not getting notification bells and stuff like that. If you want to see if it's been updated recently, you probably go to the BitChute subscription list and see see if it's popped up. And BitChute's great that way because it's got a subscription list, and my subscription list on YouTube, it's not in order of what recently updated, so it's kind of fucked up. But BitChute has one that's completely in order of the last channel that updated. That's cool. That's just awesome. Brighteon's kind of like that but it's it's a big general list on the front page, but it's an order of what's been recently published and stuff like that. At least I think it is. But so is Liberty, the TV, and well, I guess Float is best to explain it. It kind of looks a bit like Gab, but it's got a white background, and it just posts like that. It's just a down list. But dry lips are killing me. Yeah, definitely try to do those things and stuff like that, and prop me up, because I mean, a lot of YouTube is basically Mickey Mouse Club prop ups, and people are propped up by conservative and liberal think tanks, libertarians especially, because the conservative think tanks like the Koch brothers crap, they do not want libertarians running for public office. Of course, they could easily support and make them viable, but no, they want us whining about government that they ruin, or I mean, that they make bad and bigger and eviler. Oh god, that's horrible. Even more evil. And that said, I mean, left-wing think tanks. Usually, especially if you see a lot of research involved, definitely a think tank back thing, because people are using bullshit studies back and forth. Definitely a think tank operation. You can do a lot of searches, but I mean, studies, they're usually slanted in one way or the other. Very little counterpoint involved in a lot of these channels too, and that's usually a sign of a biased think tank. And That's the sort of thing that's happening. That's the sort of problem we're looking at with YouTube channels and stuff like that. I mean, it's not like these. I I don't know. Whatever. I get to say whatever the hell I want because I'm not propped up either. Don't have them stopping me. I don't. Uh, I mean, AdWords might get enacted if enough subscribers go. It'd be interesting to see if they demonetize stuff. If I could monetization and stuff like that. Join button might be nice, but I think it's important to get on even YouTube and multiple other sites, even if you go to one specific place more often to watch them, because you never know when something will go bad with one of them. Sometimes the videos will stall in certain places and not other places, and sometimes the new platforms sometimes have some bandwidth issues, and sometimes and who knows? I mean, maybe one day YouTube suddenly becomes the great free speech beacon and BitChute becomes fascist. You never know. It's just good until they force you off it. You might as well just sit around, sit in the have a membership in these various places and follow and save playlists in these various spots and well, enjoy your videos wherever you want to primarily, and then check out these mirrors. Because in my day, we had mirror websites. That value of a mirror site. So it's good to have those multiple spots to be in, even YouTube. Uh, doesn't have to be their first go-to, but it's still a good idea to try to subscribe in the multiple spots. Enough occupying your time. Again, good day, morning, night, whatever. I hope you enjoy your free time, work time, whatever. And thank you very much. Good night, morning, afternoon. Repeating myself. Ah!